My name is Dmitry. I am like once again going to talk about Kotlinizing the product I'm working on. And once again, this is me. This is how I look like, and this is my email, and this is my Twitter. So one small, I would say, greeting to everybody from you. KotLand, so you probably know what KotLand is. So there's an island, and I used to be, I have been there like 3 days ago, and this is a small greeting to all of you. So this is Western KotLand and the Baltic Sea. So this is how it looks like, and it was so beautiful and so nice. Okay, so once again, I'm really happy that I'll be talking about Kotlinizing the product I'm working on. So, and the product I'm working on right now in Oracle is called Project Helidon. So once again, this is my first time ever to a Kotlin conference. I'm mostly a Java guy, but I believe in Kotlin, and I think that Kotlin is amazing language. And actually, I was very happy that Kotlinizing Helidon um, uh, was like, first of all, it happened, then it is like continuing to happen, and then I really like what the result is. So, but for all of you who don't know, this comes from a Java world. So from Java world, I'll tell a little bit more about Helidon. Actually, we consider Helidon as a library or a set of libraries for developing microservices. So we don't call ourselves framework because we are not exactly framework. So we do not pass to the idea of a, let us call it micro framework, because we have more than just something to serve you HTTPs and REST. We have more than that, but we don't also call us framework because don't want to shrink your expectations about what we can do. So that's why we said that we're a set of libraries for developing microservices. And you probably wonder what Helidon is, and the answer is in your screen, actually. Most probably this logo of this bird reminded you that Helidon in Greek means swallow, so it's a very fast maneuverable bird, and the way it lives and flies and flocks, I really like it, and it really reminds me of microservices and how they actually behave. So, and actually, one of the greatest parts of Helidon that it is completely open source. That means that it's probably one of the first to have projects by Oracle, who is released under Apache 2.0 license. That means that everything is on GitHub, all the issues are there, all the pull requests are there, all the discussions are there. And so once again, we accept PRs. That means that everybody can contribute or submit issues if he has any. And so we consider this fast and small and fun to use. Why actually it is so? Because mostly we are built on top of Netty. So that means that Netty is completely asynchronous, active framework for like a foundation for us. And to make it really like a set of libraries for microservices and make it really cloud native ready, we are wrapping this library to serve you all you need to live in the clouds right now. That means that you have REST, health, metrics, tracing, everything. You have it out of the box. You don't need to set it up additionally. So whenever you are using Helidon, so you got it out of the box. And once again, one of the greatest focus for us is Graal VM compatibility, native image, most probably. So that means that everything you need to run a native image. So we care a lot about it, and that means that probably almost 100% of our code, our modules, everything is Graal VM native ready. That means that we're trying to push it to the limit. That means that there are some limitations, but we're trying to do it as much as possible. The only thing is about Helidon, especially versions 2 and beyond, is that we are Java 11 only. So that means that, yes, we know that Kotlin is up to version 6, then there was SDK for 8, but if you consider using Helidon, you should care that we are 11 plus because we are modular from default, and we really enjoy all the benefits from the very beginning. We don't want to care for legacy stuff, and so we are modular, we are 11 plus, and we care about it a lot. So let us actually see what Helidon is, because we have like two different ways to work with Helidon. So once again, as I told you, Netty is underneath, and to make all the services around it work, we have this completely reactive set of libraries, which is called Helidon SE or Helidon Reactive. And just a few years ago, we said that we want to make our code standard. And standard means that it should be portable. It should be portable across different implementations of what we call microprofile, or what you know with microprofile. I'm not sure how much in Kotlin world you're familiar with that, but in our Java world, microprofile is actually, let's have a look what actually microprofile is. Is an open source community specification for enterprise Java microservices. That means that everything you have there is specified in a standard way. It is not an implementation. It's just a set of library, a set of specifications. It actually started like several participants, I believe 4 of them. It happened on my eyes, but it's interesting that it happened. So I was from the very beginning observing it. So it happened that several big vendors like Oracle, IBM, Red Hat, Payara, Tomitry, even Microsoft now, sat together and said, okay, we want to provide microservices in a good portable way, and let us create a specification for that. And currently, we do have the specifications. They are released like 4 releases per year. So there's with high cadence, that means that the specifications are evolving very much. And currently they're all hosted on Eclipse Foundation. And actually these are the main specifications that you have. That means that this 12 specifications actually form what we call microprofile. Currently, there is version 4.0. That means that we have everything for our microservices to work in a cloud environment and to, let us say, live the right way, I would say. So as you know, microservices is a highly distributed system, so we have everything about distributed problems. That means you have fault tolerance, you can trace everything. You have security, that means that JOT is a security stuff there. So of course you got health checks and metrics, so you can gather all of that stuff. And as a result, the foundation of it is actually the CDI specification and Juxta REST plus JSONB that to serve you REST. So, and what is cool about Helidon, so when you actually use Helidon, out of the box, you have everything from microprofile, currently 3.3, we're about to release 4.0 version. You have everything there. More than that, you also have additional specification that came through Jakarta E specification, because most of our clients actually require this out of the box. And that means that you also have the WebSocket, transactions, annotation, and more than that, you even have Corsten gRPC server, because they're highly demanded right now. So how can you start using Helidon? So there's a just the usual starter, but we also serve you a command line too, which helps you a lot with that. But let us actually jump a little bit deeper. So let us go to something what we internally, or even the public, call the danger zone. So, and this danger zone is actually Helidon SE or reactive APIs. If you remember this picture about Helidon architecture, so there's this reactive layer right on the top of Netty. And this is, so we decided not, actually this is once again, this is pure Java. Actually, it's a foundation for the next level for the microprofile. So we currently a lot of reuse what is there. But the API itself was so much beautiful that we decided not to hide it from you. So we decided, let us give it a backstage pass to our customers. If they don't need microprofile, let's remove all the magic and provide a pure implementation to what people call well, reactive way of coding. So once again, if Helidon MP, well, this is once again, it solves probably 80% of your problems. So Helidon microprofile is a microprofile way of doing it, the code. So it means that it has specific some annotations, processing, CDI, all that magic. In Helidon, you see you don't have it. It's pure Java. That means it's pure microprofile framework. So Helidon MP is fast and Helidon is extremely fast. So the footprint really gets tiny. So we were able to make native image with Helidon SE with DB client with all of that stuff, only 16 megs of code. So this was a session joined with Oleg Shadayev about it. So, and once again, there is no magic. It's very debuggable and it's very functional. So this is just a few examples of the code. So if you have annotations and processing from the other side, then you have just pure Java with some builder pattern and reactive constructions there to serve your code. So the components are almost the same, but we provide even more. So we also provide so Helidon has its own reactive implementation. That means David Karnak itself, so we're happy about it, provided this implementation. And more than that, since we are reactive, we have also reactive web client and DB client. So it is a little bit strange for me to talk about it now after Anton Kex showed us the how not to use external libraries, but actually to save your time and to make your work easier. So we already have this DB client, which is very thin layer, but it allows you to work in non-blocking fashion to with your DBC drivers, although they may be broken. It also does support non-relational databases, and it's very much integrated. That means that all metrics, health checks, everything is already there. So we actually have a look at it. The same is now with our web client here. So the web client is really done the same way. So if you want to do everything non-blocking, you can do everything non-blocking from these features here. Okay, and more than that, so if you are using Helidon, so you get all the reactive streams and operators, everything, messaging available out of the box, and you will actually see that this can be also written in KotLand. So just to generalize, so there's a small intro about the Helidon itself for the community who doesn't know what it is. So, and the native image of it is very small. As you see, we also support third profile, which is J-Link profile. That means as we are Java POS9 world, we have out of the box possibility to build our custom JDKs. And if you run on JVM, so it's the biggest option. The same is for startup times. So you see that native image is the ultimate solution. But once again, if you start on JVM, it still are like fractions of a second. And JLink just shows you that if you have something which you don't need, you just throw it away and everything starts much faster. The same is for this footprint. Okay, this might be the question actually. Okay, Helidon is cool, but where is KotLand here? And I'll be quite honest. So it all started with this lovely combinations in IntelliJ IDEA, which is like Kotlinized files. So I was doing some refactorings there, and suddenly in one of the menus I saw this combination like Kotlinize or convert file to Kotlin. And I was so much curious about it. What will happen if I press this combination of the file? And actually, I did press it in one of the quick starters. It did some magic about adding some Kotlin Maven plugins and other dependencies, and it worked. I was really much surprised about it that it worked out of the box because wow, just how. And let us actually take a look what we can and what we cannot do first in Helidon MP. Yes, the first impressions, a lot less code. That means that a lot of what would say ceremonies for that typical for Java were gone right now, and it did work, and it solved a lot of my problems with nullability check. That means that we know about nullability in Kotlin. I won't tell you, so you know better than me. And actually, it just threw away a lot of the code with nullability check. The only thing I should care about is actually to open the classes. Yes, because it did compile, but it started and it gave me some errors that, okay, CDI cannot access it. So one solution is just to open the classes, and another solution is actually to use all open plugin, which is a discussable thing. Let us jump a little bit into the code where I have prepared a big set of examples. Actually, all of them are written in Kotlin. And some of them we are now going to convert in Kotlin. And in our examples, we will then use some of the extensions that we did for Kotlin, but this will come a little bit later. So first of all, for MP stuff, that means that if you're using this magical stuff about Kotlin, not Kotlin, but Helidon, it means that everything is CDI specific. The only thing we need really to do is just to convert the file. Yes, yes, and now you see, we get all this constructor stuff, and we really have to keep it open. So that means that everything you have to do to make it work, we really have to make it open. And then the idea, actually, good stuff about it, is actually it is good enough to start. So where is it? Yes, we just convert it. And as a result, we get just some regular classes, nothing special. The only thing we have to do is just to open them. And you see all the other stuff, like injectors, like messages. So for example, if we need some endpoints, we open them. We do, once again, open them. All the annotations, you may probably see, but we have path, get, produces. And here, for example, we also have annotations for API request response and all of this. So this is the annotations for from micro profile that help you document your code and provide API description of the code. So it still works perfectly. So there is only one thing that suddenly did not work. Yes, some of the get message and set message stuff actually won't compile. And this is how easy it is for the MP stuff. I'll be quite honest. This is nothing special about it. I'll just show you that it does work. So we just actually package and compile it. And you'll be, oh, what's wrong with that? Oh, I think, yes, I did something wrong. I mean, the wrong package. I'll just do it here. And it will suddenly work. Yes, the same is with the tests. So the tests are completely okay. Maybe it will, I'm not sure if it will fail this thing, but it did not fail it this morning when I was preparing for the talk. So what is good about it? So once again, you get a lot less code. This is nothing to impress in this world. It takes a little bit more time to compile, but as a result, so it usually takes less time but now I'm also transmitting all the data that I have. It's usually a little bit so. Yeah, something's downloading, but it's okay. Okay, some tests failed. Okay, oh, you see, we have not opened everything. Yes, greeting provider. Yes. So I really need to open another stuff. This is very cool about it. So in the test, you will just get all the information that you need to open the files and to make them, or just use all open plugin. Okay, let us just make it work, and then I'll switch to the most interesting stuff, actually. How we did Kotlinize it. Yes, so we have the examples. They are running. You see, so the example has, the test code has already been Kotlinized as well. So it's now written in KotLand. Now we just build it, and as a result, I just run it. Minus jar. What was the name of it? Yeah, this is the jar file. You see, in fractions of a second, we have a completely working code, which is written, as you see, in pure Kotlin. And we are able to do different stuff. First of all, is just do curls. Like, okay, there's some other curls I was using, like greet. Once again, we have this hello world, but what's the best thing about it is that out of the box, you have health checks. For example, this is you have out of the box, and more than that, you have, for example, what was the name of metrics? Yes, that means that we are now writing in Kotlin. We are using the code. We only had to make it open, and it still works perfectly. Nice. This is really what you have to do about it. But let us do some more stuff. We also have to care. There's one thing you should care, that Kotlin does not support multiple annotations. So, for example, if we use annotation, repeating annotation like time of the day, unfortunately you cannot do it because it's still a Kotlin limitation. But there's a workaround about it. It's just use this wrapping annotation, which times of the day, time of the day here. So there's always this wrapping annotation around it. So you just use it with this constructor, and you will get it. Okay, it was really easy, but it was nothing special. I would say most of the code can be converted here. But when it comes to the Helidon SE, which is the pure Java, we actually saw that here we can really do some cool adaptation of Kotlin. So first of all, we in our code use a lot of builder patterns. So we believe the builder pattern is really cool, and we have all the code here. And as we're playing with it, I said, that builder pattern itself is just great for building DSLs. And this is what we did. So we decided. So you get this builder. Whenever you have a builder, you can create a DSL and help people actually make the Kotlin more idiomatic. So as you see, we have for web server, we have for routing, and the next thing we also did is the conversion for, because we have a lot of as, and there we have used the reinforced generics to convert everything to 2. So let us actually do it. So this will be a better example. So as you see, it is really easy with the MP stuff. Let me close everything. Yes, I think that we don't have anything running on our ports. And let us now play with the Quick Start SE. So once again, we had a Java file which I just converted to Kotlin. So first of all, we have the same service. I really, it's really easily done. So greeting service. Once again, if you're more interested in Helidon SE itself, then there are different sessions around the internet. So I will post some interesting. So we have this getter, put methods, and all of that stuff. And then we actually can do also convert the main function, the main class. And as I was talking to Anton, our hip-hop guy from JetBrains, what is the right way to actually make Kotlin code idiomatic? Because just converting the code is not enough. Yes, and actually he gave me some very good tips. So first of all, we don't need main object at all. So if we're doing here the stuff, we also only need to do some, yes, rather actually, we don't need the main object. So Kotlin will care for that for us. Yes, and as it's a pure Java, yes, we just remove everything we don't need in Helidon. Okay, so as you see, we are using a lot of, uh, reactive stuff here, but every time you see a builder, actually, so there is a way for you to write it in a more KotLand way. So let us do it, actually. So for that, we have a prepared so-called special, KotLand support files. So it's a small package where you have some lovely methods and lovely DSLs that will help you do the code in really a better way. So you will probably see here, so there's a KotLand support, and there is a big bunch of functions which actually serve you as DSLs for your code. So they are also for web client, for DB client, and even a lot of extensions actually to help you write code in a more idiomatic way. So let us jump back to the main class and apply some of those stuff. So whenever you have a web server and want to create a routing, so first of all, you actually wrap like a web server in a DSL, and then you just do some media support and everything you need. This is more specific to Helidon, but as you see now, it looks much more, I would say, KotLand way. The same is for the routing. So whenever you see a builder stuff, there is already a prepared DSL. So I really did my best to go around all the code base that we have and to remove all the unnecessary stuff for you to do different buildings and routing stuff. So we don't need dots here anymore, and this is how we do it. So once again, we do see builder, and for that we have a DSL. So let us do like health support. Oh, we don't need this thing, and we don't need this thing, and voila, it started working, or it started, but it really looks a lot more beautiful. It looks a lot more KotLanish right now. So we have DSLs for almost everything, and even for for some create functions. So we will just do JSON support, which actually does, yeah. We will save your code, how KotLand is about, saving your typing, and it really should work. So the only thing I think we should care about in this particular example, yes, greeting service is done. So this is now pure KotLand. It has all these internal constructors. And if we go to main server itself, you see we've KotLanized it. So with just adding one dependency, this dependency and it's just KotLand support. So it will go to the POM file because we're using Maven for that. You can easily run it, but you can also easily run it because it's a pure Java. Let me check. Let me only check the haven't changed. This is the MP example. Sorry for that. Yes. So there's a main method which is main KT. Yes, because Helidon has its own main class, main KT. And let us actually try to run it. We can actually run it directly from the EDEs. It's pure KotLand. And all the dependencies that we have there are should be actually running okay. I hope there won't be any issues. The demo codes are with us. And I believe, yes, there's one thing about it. So yes, sometimes the converters actually do make some issues. So we only need to, because it's very asynchronous, just to get it. Yes, let us do it again. As you see, we are really Oh, it's even running on by the way, it's running on JDK 17. I have forgot to switch it. And as you see, it starts extremely fast, and we still have all the same functionality, but written in pure Kotlin right now. We still get the same results here in metrics. Yes, it does serve us. We are able to use them, and we still have all this health checks and all of that stuff. Yes. So what does that mean? So that means that, right, like I'm now competing a little bit with the ideas that Anton Keks gave in the previous session, that you should use a lot less frameworks in your code, but you actually are able to use Helidon and just get all the stuff which is done there out of the box, absolutely in a Kotlin way. So it's very, very much Kotlinizable. So, and let me just check a little bit there to the, as you see, now I'm now showing you, I will show you the code. It's a really huge code base of all of our applications of Helidon usage. They are all written in pure Kotlin, as you see, and they are all having this wonderful usage of DSLs, etc., etc. So as I told you, we are having this DB client, which is very thin and helps you a lot to save your data. So once again, as you probably see, we are able to execute like SQL statements in a asynchronous way, running on a separate executor, and communicate in a synchronous way. And this all can be done in Kotlin way. And the good stuff about it is that once again, you will not have any strange constructions there, as if we use, let me, where is that? So yes, for example, the mapper. So you see, we are using a lot of this in thread type. So this is a so-called extension function. So we did some extension functions to convert your data to the types that you have to do. Thanks a lot, Nicola Frankel, for actually showing me that. Once again, in this Kotlin support, we're using rainfind generics to, first of all, hide this ugly usage of as, and then just be able to make this to function with inline to probably for all the usage of as, because we use it quite extensively there in Helidon. You will have the replacing to function, which will actually just help you doing all the stuff in a Kotlin fashion. And if you go to the examples, for example, for once again for DB, so we use them quite a lot, and they do work very nicely. Okay, so this is a small story how we actually Kotlinized everything. Let me just go back and to see that if you want to play with it, currently it's under my repo, so it's in my Dmitry Alexandrov at GitHub, and we are now preparing an Oracle repo for that, because we are now keeping both examples in like synchronous way. So this is one of my jobs actually. Really happy about it, and most probably, if you remember this tool as I showed you, let me just go back to it. So we prepared this CLI tool to help you build everything. This CLI tool in nearest future will also generate projects in Kotlin directly. So it did work. As you see, we are able to Kotlinize, and there's a huge code base with examples. Actually, the main idea is why you can use Kotlin with Helidon. So, because there's Ktor, there are other frameworks, and here I have tried to give you some answers about it. So first of all, if you're using microprofile, so if you want to make your code really portable in microprofile way, we do fully support it, and you have it out of the box. As I show you, Most of the things are already there. You just use it as a library function and just call it and you use it. Once again, we have this wonderful two flavors. That means that you are able to write code like with annotations, which is nothing special. It just saves a lot of code. It just, because Kotlin is saving your code. And once again, we have this direct, no magic way of doing it, like reactive way of doing it. As you probably saw, we have some Kotlinized versions of it. So we have created this Kotlin support, and this Kotlin support helps you write more Kotlin way. So all the builder patterns, there are some extension functions for you. They will do a lot of easier code. So, and then you have a lot of additional options. So once again, the DB client, that means that we do have this very, very thin layer, but reactive DB client. So you're able to use in a reactive way your GDBC drivers or what was it, Mongo drivers, so other non-SQL stuff. The same as if you want to build a completely reactive system, we have this reactive web client, which you can also use, and they're all integrated in the health metrics checks, etc., etc. So if you're building really big enterprise systems with all that stuff, you really do have it. Then, fortunately, I would say, so we are like, because we're still keeping it experimental, because people really have to get used to it, and we already have some projects that are using it, and they are submitting some bugs to us, but we'll still consider it experimental. Experimental in our cases means that some APIs may break. This is what I mean. So it's production ready, but some APIs may break in the future. So that's why we say it's experimental. But just a few words about Helidon, which is coming. So we have like 2.3.1. The good thing about it that we already supports fiber and continuation. That means that we are able to use virtual threads. So just with one option, as you see, I was running already on JDK 17, but only with one option you can turn on, and you can run all the requests in virtual threads there. As an executor, we do support it. So you can still write in Kotlin, but you can still reuse this option with Project Loom. We now have very strong support with OCI. So if your business is bound to clouds, one of them is OCI. We have a specially made custom support for that. More than that, we now have support for Neo4j. That means that you can configure it and it will work. So some of the examples there are in the code are using Neo4j. That means that you can still write Kotlin and use Neo4j to serve your microservices, which actually acquire or run queries against Neo4j. And the coolest and newest feature, we do have micrometer support as well. So, and what is the good stuff actually, that just about a week ago, I have upgraded to Kotlin 1.5. Yes, there was some situation where some tests were broken, but we have rewritten them. We have see what was the problem, and the repo that we have right now actually does support Kotlin version 1.5, and we are quite proud of it. Most of you will ask me about, okay, guys, coroutines. Kotlin is all about coroutines. And yes, this is the next thing we are doing. So we are playing, but this coroutine support is actually, it goes a little bit deeper than just reusing the libraries. We really have to do our own executors for the netty stuff and all of that stuff. It will take a while. So as I say, soon, most probably I'm lying here, but it's really like experimental work for us. We don't have much resources for that, but we are actually playing with it. So I really hope that coroutines will be supported. And of course, because Kotlin, as you see, we take it serious, and we really want our customers to use Kotlin as well, and coroutines will be there. So once again, if you want to learn more about Helidon project, So we have a bunch of ways to do it. So first of all, it's Twitter. Then for people who likes to read, we have Medium support, and we also have a YouTube channel. You can ask your questions on Slack, and once again, we have everything is on GitHub, so we accept PRs. And once again, I'm a few minutes later, like 3 minutes earlier, even I would say. So I would really like to thank you for this possibility to talk on a real KotLand conference. And I really hope that you enjoyed the story of us Kotlinizing our product, and we are keeping doing that. So whenever you have questions, just let me know, or here, or there will be an interview or discussion zone. What's the name of it? Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here.